Hello, my name's Matt Loughlin, and I'm very privileged to be the 9th letter carving apprentice sponsored by the Lettering Arts Trust. I'm currently halfway through a 2-year apprenticeship with master letter carver Eric Marland in Cambridge. I've learned a lot of skills in my first year as an apprentice, and I wanted to share a few of them with you and talk about the general process of letter carving itself. As an example, I'm going to use my own apprentice alphabet. The inspiration for my alphabet is one carved by Eric Gill early in his career, and it's actually on display at the V&A in London if you want to check it out. The first thing I had to figure out was what I was going to carve my letters on. I chose a piece of Nabrasina stone. My teacher Eric recommended this stone to me because it looks very similar to Hopton wood, which is what Eric Gill used to use for his alphabets. I decided to sink the face of my stone and to mason a border around it. The stone was very hard and full of shells, so it was a little bit tricky, especially considering I had never done masonry before. Eventually, I got the stone looking pretty good, and it was time to get to the lettering. One of the biggest things I've learned as an apprentice is that the foundation of letter carving really is drawing. With my design, I started off with a thumbnail sketch and a basic layout, and then scaled it up and refined it on tracing paper. Once I got my letters looking as good as I could, it was time to pounce or transfer the letters onto the stone. This is done using carbon paper, which leaves a nice faint outline of the letters on the stone. I then went over the outlines with a pencil to refine them and make them more bold. The style and order of carving can be different depending on who you train with. With Eric, I was taught to chase a V-cut up the center of each part of the letter and then chop or chase outwards towards the line. Once the initial carving was done, it was time for me to really scrutinize the letters under a light. I even did some rubbings also. This is good to check for any wobbles or maybe curves that aren't quite curvy enough. Once I was done with the carving, I needed to decide whether I wanted to paint my letters or maybe gild them or leave them natural. In the end, I decided to paint them and went with a navy and dark red color combination that Eric recommended to me because it was very similar to what Gill used to do in his stones. With painting, there's really 2 ways you can do it. The first way is to just do it very carefully, and the second way is to flood paint it, which is what I did. With flood painting, you put a thick layer over all of the letter, not worrying about the outlines. You then sand off the excess paint with a sanding block or maybe a carborundum stone. And here's my finished alphabet. If you want to find out more information about letter carving, or maybe do an apprenticeship yourself, you should check out the Lettering Arts Trust website, which is www.letteringartstrust.org.uk.